Hey guys, I'm back. It's been almost a year. I live in Ottawa now, so I'm no longer in Kingston with Don and the guys. But I've got 3 deck profiles for you. Got my first. We're gonna start with my Eternal Idol deck. And then I'm gonna do my Silverthorn deck and my Revenger deck. But
And if we have time, then be a
if,
lord.
and if we have time on or space on Don's phone, then my Nev deck as well. So first we got the lovely Bermuda Triangle Cadet Shizuku. She's our vanilla grade 3 searcher because you don't want to, we're only going to use counterblasting for Pacifica's Limit Break, so the extra counterblast one doesn't matter, and we want to consistently crossfight because that's all this deck does. Yeah, 4 heal. We're going to do 7 crit. I like running 7 crit in crossfight decks just because I don't need all the extra 10Ks, and I don't want to be critting Living Daylights out of my opponent because I want to be able to hit with my Pearl Sisters. And we got 5 draw for that extra draw power to abuse Pacifica's 13K wall. And we start with my 4 lovely old Ardellis. Perfect guard. Enough said. Run 4. 4 Sednas. You're gonna want to put these basically behind Top Idol and anything else that can, or the Aquas, anything else that struggles to hit 18K, or put Sednas behind Sednas for hitting across 11Ks, just because you're running out of things to do. Most important grade 1 in the deck, hands down. Her effect is when she's placed on rearguard, choose a Pearl Sister Perla, the grade 2 Pearl Sister, and give her an additional effect of when it hits a Vanguard, Soul Blast 1 and draw a card. This is the main card advantage of the deck, and if you want to get this going as soon as possible so that you can get a really big hand really early, and it's almost impossible for your opponent to recover. Then 2 clears. Random bounce target for giving 4K when you go for Pacifica's Limit Break. If you're bouncing anything, you want to bounce either a clear or a Celtic, preferably Celtic, but clear's there just in case. 4 Perla, the grade 2.
Yeah, I'm sad because I've only got 3 in my deck.
I have a 4th for you.
Thank you.
And like Pearl, she's the most important grade 2. Ridiculous turn 2 pressure if you ride a Perla and drop a Pearl behind her.
I've done it.
It makes your opponent do really stupid things really early, like dropping 10 to 15K just to stop your grade 2 attack, and if you went first, possibly screw them out of using their starter's effect if they're running a grade 3 searcher or, say, Linchu, because they really want that counterblast to pop your starter or whatever's in your back row. But you're just denying that to them by making them want to guard it, because otherwise you're gonna not only get the 1 card off your drive check, but you're gonna draw a card and then probably you're gonna bounce Pearl back to hand, or if you still have Shizuku on the field, bounce Shizuku for a free 10K. But yeah, if you get this going early game, especially if you ride Pearl for your grade 2 Vanguard, you generate ungodly amounts of hand advantage. I think I topped out about 13 cards in hand when I won. At 3 damage.
Wow.
3 Aquas. If you don't end up hitting a Perla for your grade 2, you kind of want to ride Aqua just because she's a 10K fatty, and her illustrator's the same person who did all the Hatsune Miku art. Random fact. Then we got 3 Celtic. She's your bounce target for Pacifica's Limit Break. You want to bounce Celtic and then fetch out an 11K to give 5K power or 4K power to. And then boost with the Sedna to swing for 23 on a cross ride and make them drop 15K before triggers. Beautiful. And then Rosa, the first of our 11K targets. I only run 2 because Rosa early game pre-cross ride is useless. She's a dead card, and they can only make 16 only with a Sedna. And if you have to ride her, you're going to get abused really bad.
Guilty of charge, done it.
And now, my favorite part of the deck. Top Idol Pacifica.
And look it's an SP.
I have 2. I want to get a 3rd, but so far it's been really hard to get a 3rd one of her. My 3rd one was supposed to be in the mail, but it got lost in transit.
Or so they say.
No, the guy sent me a trade proof and everything. He actually did send it out, but yeah. It got eaten in the mail, and because Canada Post really doesn't like top loaders, please, if you're mailing to Canada, please put it in a bubble mailer and have it shipped by air, because Canada Post Ground hates top loaders. Yeah, I only run 3 of her because she's actually pretty bad anywhere other than the Vanguard Circle. She's got really good hand filtering. The soul charge 1 and draw a card, and then bottom deck 1 card. It lets you bottom deck extra grade 3s that you don't need anymore. Like maybe if you draw into a lot of your top idols, or if you have too many eternal idols and you just want to drop them back to the bottom of your deck and draw into more 10Ks or just stuff to guard with. She's wonderful for that. The extra. It's kind of like running like a once per turn Gojo or Steel Dragon Kairase or whatnot.
Yeah.
Like just extra hand consistency is wonderful, and and it's not bad if you get stuck on her because the extra soul, it doesn't really hurt, and extra hand consistency never hurts either.
I've actually won because I pulled off her stupid ultimate, her Mega Blast.
I never go for the Mega Blast.
I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, I always
all four eternal idols were in the either drop zone or thing.
Damage zone.
Later.
Now, Eternal Idol.
1 second. Show us a second.
This is actually the first SP I've ever opened on my own, which is kind of sad because the only other SP I've actually opened, and I bought my own case and opened it with a group of friends, was a Schwarzschild Dragon the other day. So that's kind of unfortunate, but yeah. So I run 4 Eternal Idols. Her Limit Break is almost utterly useless. It's great for like a final turn push after your opponent's been trying to wear down your massive hand from, like, and they're basically struggling to guard all your attacks because they're trying to stop Perla from hitting. Which is really the only thing the deck does, is don't let Perla hit. But you basically when you go for your Limit Break, you want to bounce. Yeah, you go to bounce Celtic, search out Rosa, and then swing again. It's a pseudo 4 attack turn, but it really ends up being one really weak attack, sniping out an 8 or a 9K rear guard.
Yeah.
Like you like either like a pesky one like a Tom or a 12K attacker that they're probably going to try to protect because they're just drop a 5K, stop it. But then you bounce that Celtic, and it gives you that extra 4K power.
I like putting the extra 4K power on her just because I can.
On Vanguard?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I usually end up killing Linden with it.
Yeah, but if you got a Sedna behind her, which is the only thing you really should have boosting your Vanguard, because the turn you put down Pearl in turn 2, you should be bouncing your Pearl back to hand.
Yeah, true.
Unless your opponent was a fool and tried to guard that.
He was.
Unless that's the case, like you have a Sedna behind it. Why would you ever want to swing for 25? Like the only 10K that's actually used anymore is Scarlet Witch Coco. And I've never run into a Soulless player because
we have one here.
I'm the only Soulless player in Ottawa.
We have them here. All right.
Anyways,
1 second.
that's the end of my Eternal Idol. Stay tuned. Got my Silver Thorns coming up next.